Welcome to the weekly shir of the Zer Shimshon. It's Hashem. This is Parshas Mishpatim. It's Thursday night, so it's already Chavav Shvat. It's Hashem Shabbos Vorchim, and we're going to do a very short one today because everybody's not been feeling well here, and so I have a pasuk that says this is Kapitel Ches in Zer Shimshon in Parshas Mishpatim. Those that want to follow along. So pasuk says, "V'ger loy silchatz v'atem yadatem es nefesh hager kigerim hayisem be'eretz Mitzrayim." It's a pasuk in Shmos Chav Gimel. This week's parsha. So the kasha is, "Shahaya loy loymar ger loy silchatz." It should have just said a ger. You shouldn't aggravate because gerim hayisem be'eretz Mitzrayim. Shehu atam shel ger lo yisilchatz. That's the reason why you shouldn't aggravate a ger. So, so why does it interrupt in the middle of the pasuk with the words? Because you know, right? What is it that you know? Okay, it's nefesh hager. You know the nefesh hager. So he's going to explain. It's brought in the Gemara in Shabbos of Perchav Bav, Daf Kof Mem Bav, Amud Aleph, Yisrael she'amdu al Sar Har Sinai. The Jewish people that stood on Har Sinai, Pascha Zu Hamasam, they had released from this Zuhama, which is some kind of contamination from the spiritual contamination that the Goyim had from the time of Adam HaRishon. So Goyim, Shalei Amdu al Har Sinai. They didn't want to be Kabbalah the Torah, so they didn't get released from that contamination. What Gerim? What about the Gerim? Okay, so it says Elo Afagad the Inhu Lahavu Mazlayu. Even though they might not have been there physically, but their neshamas were there. Opliga de Rabbi Abba Bar Kahana. Shenamar, it says Sha'achar Yaakov Pascha Zuhama Mi Yisrael. He says that after Yaakov, the Zuhama stopped from the Jewish people. This the pasuk says, I don't want you to aggravate the Gerim, because they were equal with you. Why? Because at Har Sinai, they lost that contamination along with the Jewish people. The Afagav the Inu Lohavu Mazlayohavu. Even though they weren't there themselves personally, but their mazel was there. That's why it says it interrupts in the middle and says, you know the Nefesh Hager Giger Me'isa Be'eretz Mitzrayim. Right? Dafka Nefesh Sheroimez Lal HaNazal. That's Dafka the Nefesh Hager that hints to the mazel. If you'll say like the other opinion that Zuhama, the contamination, left them from the time of Yaakov Avinu, Im Kain Atem Gedolim Mehem, therefore the Jewish people are still greater than the Gerim. So Mehem Loi Pascha Ad Sinai, because the Gerim didn't get released from that contamination, the Zuhama, until Har Sinai. L'chein Amar says, there's another reason, because Kigerim Hiyisem Be'eretz Mitzrayim, and you know the Nefesh Hager. That's for this in Zer Shimshon today, and I have a little story. Zer Shimshon. It says this man is not named, but it was told from Menachem ben Yamin Pashka's story that if before he had a serious disease, he doesn't say what, but he needed to go through a special tipul, special operations, and after this operation, he had extreme pain and Yisurim that he wasn't able to bear, and especially in his feet. And then when he came to the house of Beis Yosef, So So even when he came home, he wasn't able to walk. Liyadati aniba. He doesn't know what he was going to do. They told him, the doctor says there's no cure for this. This is going to continue for a long time. And after I heard that after the learning of the Sefer Zer Shimshon was misugel to have Yeshuas, I decided to begin to learn in it. And immediately, in the beginning of my learning, I bikashti and be'amuna, I requested with a true belief in the schus that the Mechaber HaKodesh Yivtiach, that he promised b'hakdamas HaSifrei b'banei chayim ezayna revicha siyata d'shmaya, so everything that happened will be with siyata d'shmaya, she'ezke Yeshua, that I will be privileged to have a salvation, v'uchal alechas v'raglai, and I'll be able to walk, v'yelchu mimene ha'yisurim sheyesh li b'raglai. And this will be, this problem that I have with my feet will disappear. After the limud, I went to sleep. Male yisurim kashim me'oid, very difficult pains. In the morning, when I got up from my sleep, I began his Galilee Chazde Hashem. Suddenly, Chazde Hashem was revealed to me. Ki yisurim ozvu aisi. And I was able to walk normal, like anybody else. It's a wonder. This is one shir. He just started learning. And after about 3 weeks of more of these tipulim, more of the, probably he was doing some kind of, probably he was doing more therapy, and it was causing him, and he spiked a fever for 2 weeks. He wasn't able to, the doctors were not able to bring down the fever. And again, I received on myself, I accepted on myself to learn more in the Sefer, and again, like the first time I asked for help from the Mechaber, that I should be Zeicha to Refuah Shlema, and immediately after I learned, came to me the Rofer with the Trufa Chadasha Lenases. He came with a new medicine to try, and after 3 hours, the medicine worked and the fever went away. So he says he was absolutely ecstatic. And I will continue to learn in this holy Sefer. And he was hoping to be completely healed. And I explained myself to everybody I knew that this was the great Maaseh of the Rabbi Shimshon, and the Sipur Yeshuas of Rabbi Shimshon Nachmani. Have a good week and a good Shabbos. Bez Hashem. Everybody should have their own Yeshuas and Banei Chaya and Mezayna Revicha. Kol Tov.